3, 2, 1. Danganronpa.
Konnichiwa, my gamers, Jeremiah, their boy here, and welcome back to Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair. Today, guys, we're still dealing with the 5th class trial with Nagito's death case. Man, my heart was really crazy when I thought the voting time was gonna start, but... Well, if you think about it, there's certainly no way this is going to happen. We haven't done this bit yet. Most of the players probably figured this out too. The only one who didn't know. Isn't that right, Mamma-me? Hey, how did I plan to sulk? Let's get along with what the rules do. Alright, you pass. Friendship is measured by how long you can stand in silence when you're alone with someone else. So, why not our besties and best friends? Don't say so stupid things. I hate you so much right now. And now, why not to be hated that much? Besides having you snap at me like that, I don't trust you at all. I'm a teensy tiny 1mm bit. How sad. This tells you your friends is much more shameful than being betrayed by a friend, you know. We haven't aren't friends in the first place. But your brother, let me say this. You're not even my other brother. It's sad to live in life without friendship. That's even sadder than watching a high school walk on full of guys. Well, that may be some demands for that. Careful! I thought you took the man bait. What? What man bait? Class trial? I'm
Monami. By now, there's nothing more for me to say.
Yep.
Anyway, my chest is full of pride right now.
That's right.
Everyone is united against despair. They're totally awesome. That's why I'm gonna fight too. I will fight the only way I can. I'm gonna show that guy my fearsome retaliation. That's basically it.
Okay, about the saving part, you say.
So if we're working together, where do we start? With the cause of death missing from the Monokuma file?
Why don't we try removing all our preconceived notions before we discuss this? In the beginning, our discussion advanced by assuming Nagito's death was caused by the spear. It's better to confirm if there are any other possibilities. That's what I think.
Other possibilities?
If something other than the spear killed Nagito, all I can think of is a knife stabbed into his hand, but...
That was definitely a gruesome wound, but it wouldn't be the fatal wound, don't you think?
If you think the cuts on his legs and left arm aren't the fatal wounds...
Are we finished already?
I feel like... it's possible that we overlooked something.
Yep. Overlooked, huh?
Then let's bring up whatever we can think of, one after the other. That might clear some things up.
Yep.
Exactly! We should cooperate at a time like this.
If it was that isn't the spear, we don't even know if it actually exists, but if it does, we just find out what was no matter what. Let's think this thoroughly. Special poison? It has to be that way, no what? It says half.
Let us consider a different fatal wound.
It's not the knife in his right hand, right? It's not the other wounds, right?
With all those wounds, maybe he simply bled to death.
There's no way he burned to death.
No.
Was the cause of death something that cannot be seen?
Maybe it's
If
the
it's
poison
something
one.
that can't be seen, maybe he choked himself with a sleeper hold.
No.
Or liquefied his guts with a body blow.
Liquefied?
Just thinking about it, that's already a horrible death.
Oh, I agree, Soda.
Was the cause of death something...
Yep.
I agree with that.
What? That's what I thought. Sonya, of course. For the poison.
That's it. I totally forgot about that possibility. If the cause of death was something we can't see, then we have to consider poison as a possible method.
It is true that poison is not something we can see, but Why did you bring that up all of a sudden?
I remember, when I went to investigate Nagito's cottage, I discovered something really strange. Inside the refrigerator, I found a bottle of Monokuma's special poison.
Poison?
Additionally, that's a poison made specifically for killing. I see. Now that you mention it, there's no way a toxin like that doesn't relate to the case at all.
If poison was the cause of death, it would not leave an obvious wound on Nagito's body.
However, it's common for blood blotches to appear on a body that's been poisoned.
I see. You sure seem to know a lot about medicine.
What does that mean?
But, even if blood blotches appear, if the body was already covered in blood, there's no way we'd notice them easily, right?
There's no way, honestly.
Did he wound his body just to camouflage them?
That's also a possibility.
But still, both of Nagito's hands were full. So how would he drink poison?
His left hand was tied up and gripping the spear, and his right hand had a knife stuck in it.
If it was a slow-acting poison, it is possible he consumed it in advance.
No, the warning label on the bottle explicitly states the effect is instant.
Then it's impossible. Both his hands were full just before he died.
And this is when the hardtail appears.
You're totally overvaluing that tail.
Okay, stop
Mouth
it.
was covered with duct tape, you know. If he wanted to drink poison, how'd he get it past his lips?
If there's no way he could have drank the poison, it might be impossible. Just kidding. It's not like we're out of possibilities yet.
Are there any left?
Hell no! No matter how you slice it, he was totally killed by that spear!
Since we've already ruled out so many possibilities, it might be easier to think about what really killed him. Operation Elimination Method. The hint should be written on the poison's warning label. Maybe.
Yes, it should. The possible warning label said... Any liquid that poison detected from immediately. Please handle with care. While the volume is low, the liquid may be dangerous when vaporized. The gas station is heavier than the air. It breaks down in minutes and is pipe or something. So it's possible for the poison someone to death without any complaints. Keep the liquid secure and install the clean place the glass of plasma container away from sunlight. Double poison into the body. The answer is on the warning label? Is this still healing kit? Okay, lots of drug time. Okay, here we go. Okay, question 1. Go son of it. What state was the poison that would infect Nagito? Liquid, right? It was gas then, I take it back. Why is it that side? I know the question. Okay, question 2. How did the poison enter Nagito's body? I think it's those wounds. Ask me what? I slipped. It has to be the nose. Wait, that's it? There's only 2 questions and answer? You just 3.
All coming together.
You just 3 questions I have to deal with, not just 2.
What if instead of drinking the poison, we assume he inhaled it?
Inhaled?
It's written on the poison's warning label.
The liquid is highly poisonous and takes effect immediately. Please handle with care. The volume is low, the liquid is very dangerous when vaporized.
Dangerous when vaporized. In other words, breathing in the gas is fatal.
Poison gas! Then all he had to do was breathe it in through his nose!
He breathed that poisonous gas inside the warehouse? But if poisonous gas had spread throughout the warehouse, why didn't it kill us?
Poison didn't breathe in the gas. I should explain the mystery too. It was the sprinklers.
The sprinklers in the warehouse. Thanks to those, we didn't inhale that poison gas.
Yep, that'd be good.
The poison gas disappeared because of the sprinklers? It wasn't the fire?
Well, this was also written on the poison's warning label.
Again, the gas station is heavier than air. It breaks down in minutes and the special is 2 hydrants. So it's possible for you to poison someone to death without any complication.
Of course! Hydrolysis! The chemical bonds that formed the poison were broken down by the water from the sprinklers!
Also, the poison is apparently denser than air. so it probably didn't affect us because we were standing.
But Nagito was laying down, so he must have breathed in a whole bunch of it, huh?
If it
That's
meets
close.
the requirements that well, maybe it's not just a possibility anymore.
Yeah, the true cause of Nagito's death was poisoning. The wounds on his body, the spear in his stomach, it was all to keep us from learning the truth.
So what?
Huh?
We figured out that Nagito died from poison, but so what? In the end, it doesn't change the fact that he committed suicide, right? Then enough already!
Nagito inhaled the poison he prepared and died. Yeah, that still sounds like a suicide.
Well, with this, we have a clearer picture. We've also determined the true cause of death. All right, all the mysteries should be solved now. We should get on with the voting time, right?
Well, but
What? There's still more?
I mean, not all the mysteries has been solved yet. In the end, Nagito's motive is still unclear. Did he commit suicide just so he could kill every last one of us, or it was really his motive? Is that really okay?
Hey, what happened? There's no reason to wonder about that stuff anymore, you know.
Yeah, Nagito's motive. Nagito's motive. Is this really okay? Can we really finish this here? No, that can't be.
There might have been an accomplice.
Yes, Chakaki, thank you very much. Huh?
Chiaki, what did you just say?
If Nagito committed suicide by inhaling poison that he brought, then why wasn't there anything that looked like poison at the crime scene?
Anything that looked like poison?
If Nagito brought poison to the warehouse, it's strange that we couldn't find it there.
Another way to propose the warehouse there will be left behind is Chaka-san must think that would have been necessary to king of poison, right? No, not me in the bone. It has to be the container.
I see!
Yep, there you go.
are you talking about the container the poison was kept in?
Yeah. If Nagito brought it, it's strange we couldn't find that container anywhere, right?
He can't carry around poison without putting it in a container?
Yeah, it was written on the warning label.
Yep. Keep things secure by storing the cold plate in a glass or plastic container away from sunlight. How do you do that, honestly?
Container probably melted in the fire.
It's probably plastic or glass, right? There's no way it'd completely incinerate. Even
Guess
the
what?
plastic fragments of the fire grenades we used to put out the fire didn't completely burn up, you know?
Then, does that mean someone got rid of the container?
So that's why you mentioned an accomplice.
That is impossible! I mean, an accomplice? It is just two!
Like, does that really matter all that much? I mean, even if he had an accomplice, it doesn't change the fact that Nagito still committed suicide.
Yep.
You're right. Someone might have accidentally took it away from the crime scene.
Ah, you're right! You're totally right! That's totally it!
Right? Isn't it okay to close this case yet? I'm not in the mood for unexpected twists.
Me either. I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want to hurt anyone but hurting someone else. Everyone's tired of dumping everyone else. I also feel the same way. The way I want just was an actual suicide. If I do that, nobody has here to get hurt. But
That's no good.
Huh?
I feel like Nagito is seeing through us. By calling this Nagito suicide, we're trying to take the easy way out so we don't hurt anyone else. But if Nagito was here right now, he'd probably be sneering at us.
yep.
He'd probably say something like, "So that's the extent of your hopes."
So Nagito's ghost is whispering to you, huh? The power of friendship bursts beyond death, huh? A fiery outcome like this is right out of a teen manga.
Definitely.
Still, that's pretty messed up.
Shut up! You just be quiet.
I get what you're saying, but in the end, the reason he died is still the same as before, right?
Yep.
Even if we solve this mystery, the conclusion won't change at all.
Yep.
I mean, it'd be a suicide regardless, right?
Yep.
Even if there really was an accomplice, is there any reason we should take the time to figure out who it is? Like Fuyuhiko said earlier, it is possible that somebody accidentally removed the poison from the crime scene.
But I just can't imagine ending this by turning our backs on the truth.
It's fine, okay? There are some things we're better off not knowing. And we probably just didn't notice it. Like maybe the container was hiding with the fire grenade fragments.
What is this feeling just now? Even though this is belief, it was like a strong flash of light running through my back of my head. Maybe what Kana just said just might be a new clue. Why she said just now about them just noticed the container because it's hiding? If that's true, I might be able to reach the answer to using that. Though we never brought the poison, which means the container was... It was the... fire grenade? I hate doing this! Okay, there we go. Fire grenades.
Got it!
It's possible, you know, because... If it's possible he took it out. It's possible he took it out.
I see. I got it.
Huh?
The fire grenades. Nagito put the poison inside one of the fire grenade canisters and transported it to the warehouse.
He used one of the fire grenade canisters?
Yeah, the container with the poison in it wasn't secretly taken away by someone. Instead, it was in a container that didn't need to be taken away in the first place.
Yeah, just look.
As long as he put the poison in the same container he brought to the warehouse, it can be hidden with the other fire grenades we used, so there's no need to dispose of the container later.
Yeah, look.
Bastard. He totally knew we were gonna throw those fire grenades.
Which means, did Nagito exchange the contents of a fire grenade?
Yep.
Yeah, that has to be it.
When I first discovered those fire grenades, I tried to study them a little bit, but the canister was completely sealed shut by a layer of aluminum underneath the lid.
You just have to peel off that seal and swap the insides, right?
That is true, but there was no sign he was even at the break room.
Hold on. Did you say aluminum?
Hajime. Could it be?
If so, then there's no mistake. Nagito definitely swapped the contents of one of the fire grenades.
Seriously? That's impossible! Miss Sonia just said so right now!
Sonia's words are proof that the poison was swapped with the contents of a fire grenade.
Huh?
So it was for the key. I found out the rules proof that the 16 fire grenade was swapped. Where could it be? Piece of blue paper. It's definitely this one or this circle. It's a circle. We see it.
Take a look. We found this under Nagito's bed when we were investigating his cottage.
Huh? That's just a piece of trash.
Yep.
No, that is not just a piece of trash. The seal I saw on that fire grenade matched this. It is the same aluminum.
You found the aluminum seal under Nagito's bed?
There's more. That's not the only thing we found in Nagito's room. We also found a gas mask and gloves under his bed, too.
He has COVID.
He used those when he put the poison inside the fire grenade?
It's a
He definitely
dangerous
did.
poison after all. He took extreme caution when swapping them.
So, what's the issue? Nagito put the poison in the grenade canister, brought it with him, breathed it in, and died, right? So in the end, he still fucking committed suicide! Enough already!
Yes, we know that.
You're right. If the canister wasn't thrown away, then it just means that there wasn't an accomplice after all.
See, I told you. The conclusion is still the same. Nagito committed suicide. End of story.
Period.
I admit that there wasn't an accomplice. That was just my misunderstanding.
You're right.
In actuality, the truth is even more horrifying.
What did you say?
Hey, what are you planning to say now?
What the hell? Do you still want to keep going?
Is this not settled? There is no denying that Nagito's death was a suicide.
No, it's not.
Jackie?
I'm sorry, but I just realized it.
Where is it about go?
Realized what?
We know Nagito used the grenade canister to store the poison. So when was it deployed in the warehouse? When did Nagito breathe in the poison? When I thought along those lines, that's when I realized it.
The horrifying truth?
It probably happened at the same time.
What the fuck about and the moment I put in the poison were the same? Could that same moment be when we threw the grenades?
I see!
Yep, that's what I thought! That's what I thought! Oh my god!
Are you saying it was when we all threw the fire grenades?
Yeah, I think so.
No! We tossed it in, and he smoked some coke!
When we all threw the grenades to put out the fire in the warehouse, the poison was deployed, and it converted to poison gas and killed Nagito.
Yeah, look.
If that is true, then the person who brought the poison and spread it was...
One of us.
What the heck?
One of us threw the poison grenade that killed Nagito?
Hold on a sec. Then Nagito was...
It would mean he didn't kill himself.
No! I don't want to think of that!
You said so yourself! You said Nagito committed suicide!
I know, so I'm crying too!
Then who killed Nagito?
You mean, who's the actual killer, right?
Do you know?
Who prepared the poison fire grenade that killed Nagito?
Huh? The only put was was... Oh my god, it was actually Nagito Kamaide, we know that.
It was Nagito, obviously. We just discussed this a few minutes ago.
Then who set the warehouse fire that caused one of us to throw the poison grenade?
First was... It was Nagito Kamaide! Oh, this is funny! We keep saying him again!
That was also Nagito.
Hey, how many times are you gonna ask the same damn question?
The next question will be my last. Considering all the facts up till now, why did Nagito set the warehouse on fire?
There's no survival was... to make someone throw the poison.
I see!
Don't tell me. He set the warehouse on fire just so we'd have to throw the fire grenades?
He set the fire just so we'd put it out? Why'd he do that?
It was a trap.
A trap?
Preparing the poison. Creating a reason for us to throw the poison. It was all a setup by Nagito. It was all a trap to make one of us throw the poison grenade.
Seriously, I'm asking you who threw it.
I don't know. The person who threw it probably didn't know either.
Huh? Could it be... Was that Nagito's trap?
It definitely was!
An intentional murder. This was a murder that Nagito forced someone to do. And for that reason...
I feel that way too.
He put the fire grenade that he filled with poison with the other grenades. Setting up a murder nobody can solve. That was Nagito's true goal.
Dang.
What? What the hell?
Nagito did not commit murder. Instead, he manipulated someone else into killing him?
To do that, he set a trap to force someone to kill him. The poison grenade and the fire were traps. That's why the curtain was the fire's origin point.
Dang, just look at that.
All the fire grenades we threw at the curtain shattered once they fell to the floor. Because of that, Nagito, who was laying face up on the floor, was able to breathe in the dense poison. And then...
Hold on! If that's true, you can't say the poison was the cause of death. It might be the poison's fault he let go of the spear, but the actual cause of death could be either one.
Even so, the poison is what caused him to let go of the spear.
That's right! Nagito's killer is the one who made him breathe the poison!
Are you fucking serious?
That was his trap all along. Even the wounds all over his body, it was all to mess with the evidence for what actually happened. His true goal was creating a murder that nobody can solve. He wanted to prove to us that there are mysteries that just can't be solved with educated guesses.
He probably expected that his fake suicide would be found out. After all, a mystery that can be solved is destined to be solved in the end. However, he also prepared a mystery that couldn't be solved. as you solve mysteries and bolster your hope, a huge mystery comes along and slaps you in your faces! For those of you who believe there are no unsolvable mysteries, that is when you finally taste despair. Meaning, he used all of the prior class trial verdicts to prepare this trick. Not all mysteries can be solved. Such a devious trick he played on you, as expected of Nagito.
That's totally messed up. That's so fucked up.
Yes,
It
Soda.
is my fault, because I told you all about the fire grenades. I am so sorry! Please don't be the killer!
It's not the fucking issue here!
Oh my god, please.
It's not Miss Sonia's fault. This is all Nagito's doing.
But what should we do? How can we even figure out who the killer is?
It's impossible.
Impossible?
Nagito wanted to create a scenario where we couldn't make a decision. That's why we're at an impasse.
However, Monokuma also does not know who the killer is, right?
That's right. There's no way he'd be able to figure that out with just his surveillance cameras. Monokuma doesn't know. This trial doesn't count. Isn't that right?
You know, I don't actually need stuff like cheap-ass surveillance cameras or whatever. I know perfectly well what's happening on this island at all times. I know you used the bathroom 3 times yesterday, Sonia. And one of those visits seemed to take a while.
Please stop! I will never become queen!
That's gross.
I'm so chill. I mean, how can you have such an awful power?
So, of course this trial still counts. Do your very best to guess who the killer is.
Yes, he says. How the hell are we supposed to do that?
I know, right?
Giving up all we can do?
No, it's too early to give up.
Is there any way to figure out who the killer is?
Even though it's just a hunch, it's possible that it's probably... There's one way, I think.
What could it be, Chikaki? Tell me.
Hey, is it alright if we look at Nagito's crime one more time from the beginning?
Oh, we're gonna start already?
I'm sure my hunch is correct. Hajime, please.
That's why it doesn't mean the trial is over yet. Even though I don't know who to kill Nagito, it should be clear because Chappie said. Then I have to do it, even if it leads to despair.
I got it. Let's do this then.
So this is the part where we get the argument closing. Here we go. Finished off stock 1. Pretty weird. Gas goes a heal. Tying his arms up. He did this. Video? Yep. Okay, stock 2, here we go. Knife. Now it's a case of COVID. Now it's done this. He did this. Last stock, here we go. Now it's to find the gas. I mean, poison. He poured. He did this.
Here's everything that happened
Just to
in
kill
this
himself. I can't believe we'll learn this.
The person who actually arranged this incident was the victim, Nagito Komaeda.
He looks depressed. Look at him.
He kept a specific item inside his cottage that he needed for his plan. Monokuma's special poison, which he brought with him from the Octagon.
Shut.
Using the gloves and gas mask that he got from the military base,
He gave himself COVID! Yeah, I can't cough at all.
Nagito swapped the contents of a fire grenade he took from the plushie factory break room with that poison. When he did that, a specific item was left as evidence, the blue aluminum seal on the grenade. With that, Nagito finished making the poisoned fire grenade, took it with him to the factory,
Oh, just one of
and
those.
put it back with the rest of the grenades in the break room. The next morning, Nagito appeared before us and declared that he hid a bomb somewhere.
Ugh.
While we were looking for the bomb, That's when Nagito headed over to the goods warehouse.
Hey, place it
In order
there?
to set up a fire, Nagito arranged the Monokuma panels in a line going from the door to the curtain and placed an oil lighter in front of it. From there, Nagito set his insane plan in motion. First, he hung the spear that he took from Nezumi Castle from the ceiling girder by its cord. Then he tied his arms and legs at the back of the warehouse with rope. However, he burnt off the rope on his right arm beforehand.
Just to pretend.
In doing so, he made sure that only his right hand was free, while his remaining arm and legs were tied up.
Oh my god, look at that.
As he gripped the tip of the rope hanging over the ceiling girder with his left hand, he lay down face up, just beneath the dangling spear. But this was just the beginning of Nagito's plan. And then, he did something no one could have predicted. First, he covered his mouth with duct tape, and after making sure he was unable to scream, he stabbed himself with the knife multiple times in his left arm and in both of his thighs.
Oh, look at you getting hurt.
Finally,
He did that.
he propped the knife on the plushie and slammed his right hand onto the blade.
Oh, that's
He didn't just
so
want us to think he was
disturbing.
tired. He also wanted us to think he'd been tortured. Through all this, Nagito never let go of the spear. His plan still wasn't over. In fact, it was just about to begin.
This is sad.
Meanwhile, we finally arrived at the plushie factory and found Nagito's message. After seeing his message, we instantly made our way to the warehouse. But that was part of Nagito's plan.
Look.
We opened the door to the warehouse, which inadvertently started the Monokuma panel domino effect.
Oh.
Panels fell one after another until they reached the lighter, tipped it over, and ignited the curtain. Shocked by the sudden fire, we rushed to the factory's break room to obtain some fire-extinguishing grenades. We then aimed for the fire's origin point, which was the curtain, and unloaded the entire supply. It never occurred to us that one of those grenades was the poison grenade that Nagito had prepared. The poison sank to the floor, instantly vaporizing due to the intense heat, and spread everywhere.
Look at that, so.
The poison gas quickly drifted to the curtain at the back of the warehouse, where Nagito was.
Cocaine.
Also, Monokuma's poison has a unique quality in which it becomes heavier than air when vaporized. That poison gas completely surrounded the area where Nagito lay face up on the floor. There, Nagito inhaled the poison, and if it didn't instantly kill him, he certainly lost consciousness.
No.
Which caused him to let go of the rope in his left hand, and the falling spear plunged into his stomach.
And then that happens.
This is all the information related to Nagito's plan. His true intention was to set one of us up as the killer. At this time, we still don't know who the killer is, because the killer wasn't aware they killed someone. Try as we might, we cannot reach that truth. That was Nagito's trap.
Yep. Why? Who's all of us?
The fact that we can't determine the killer's identity.
That's true, none of us. It can't be any of us. That you, Nagito? Why you do this to us? He's my son, I consider as.
This should be the truth behind Nagito's trap.
How about it, Chiaki? Will that help you figure out who the killer is?
Chiaki?
Just as I thought. It's impossible, isn't it?
You're saying we just have to vote for someone?
What Hajime said is probably true. That's part of the reason why I thought it was a little strange. Did Nagito really not care who the killer was?
Huh?
He said this to us earlier.
So what? It's gonna be fine. I'm pretty sure everything will be worked out in the end. After all, there's no way hope can lose. Absolute hope that can break through any despair can never lose to a place like this. And not only that, I believe in you all. I believe in the times we've spent together.
That feeling of belief is at the heart of his trick. He believed we'd notice the fire grenades. He believed we'd try to extinguish the flames. And he believed we'd fall into his trap. By believing in us, Nagito was able to put his life-threatening plan into effect.
What do you mean, believe?
And what's wrong with that?
There's one more thing, remember? Something that Nagito believed in from the bottom of his heart. I want you to try to remember what that is.
What not to believe in? No, it's not Hajime. His talent.
Nagito believed in his talent as the ultimate lucky student.
How could have? I've also spent together, I believe in you guys. And more than anything, I believe in my ultimate luck. So, I'm definitely going to be alright.
Guess the last thing he could believe in was his own talent.
That's not so strange, really. Most of us here have been relying on the same thing.
Yep.
But, in his case, it was pretty remarkable, wasn't it? It almost seemed like he had blind faith in it.
You're right. The same thing happened when he cleared the final dead room at the funhouse.
Yeah. It wasn't life thing at all. It was just a little escape gate and was some Russian routine. Russian routine? It's a game where you mumble in the guy, spin the silhouette, point towards you and pull the trigger. So, you really did it. Ah, so that's how you're supposed to play it. So it will be fine if we really use one bullet, huh? I guess it's just as Mommy said, huh? I listened and thought that I had to take one bullet out of the cylinder, so that's how I did it. That's... You only had 1 in a 6 chance of surviving. But I still survived, alive. After all, the only good thing about me is how lucky I am. And he did the same thing when the first thing happened in the old building near the hotel. He took on the lock and was able to get clean dirty as he wanted. That's right, I was just trusting my luck. I trusted to be the pick for clean dirty. You just realized it on your luck? It's not just luck, it's true my talent is trash, but I'm still the ultimate lucky student, you know. Huh? I live with the red and white. Ah, for someone called the ultimate lucky student, you don't seem very lucky at all. At the time, Hadri said I wasn't lucky, but it was actually the opposite. I was lucky. That's why I got picked for the clean dude just like I wanted.
But his luck doesn't have anything to do with the case this time, right?
I just thought... It was strange that it doesn't connect to anything.
Huh?
He factored in his belief in us. But for some reason, he didn't factor in his own luck. No, there's no way. I mean, this is Nagito we're talking about.
What did he do?
No, he wasn't just after anybody. He probably had a target. A target he was aiming for all along. A person to set up as the killer.
A target? Who?
The target's true identity. Even Nagito didn't know it. That's why he relied on being the ultimate lucky student, and incorporated that luck into his plan. As long as he had his luck, he believed the target he was after would pick up the fire grenade.
You mean he left his plan to luck?
He risked his life for that?
He probably risked his life just so his ultimate luck could decide this.
Who is it? Who's the target Nagito was after?
I don't even ask. I already know who the answer is. It was the traitor, of course. We're not done with the case yet. That's so crazy.
The traitor? Nagito was after the traitor, huh?
Then he relied on his luck to weed out the traitor?
Nagito didn't know who the traitor was until the very end. All he could do was rely on his own luck.
Yep.
Then what he said in his video message...
Yeah, look. It wouldn't work just to assume a handbook if you want to sound the bomb. You have to use the traitor's student handbook. To be honest, I found out when the traitor was after secretly monitoring everyone at activate, but I was a little annoyed that they never came forward. Aww.
So he was just bluffing.
That's probably true. By that point, his plan should have already been in motion.
Then, it's just as Naruto said at the beginning. His purpose was to weed out the traitor. If we just believed in what Naruto said, we would have reached out the answer much quicker. The reason it took so damn long was it really because we didn't believe in him?
But if he just wanted to out the traitor, he didn't have to go this far and make that person the killer. Damn it! We're all in a huge bind because of that!
Yep.
It means he wants us to beat the traitor.
By finding out who the traitor is, our hopes will shine even brighter by overcoming that despair. That's something he'd say.
Mon ami, it looks like you've got something you want to say. But you better just keep your mouth shut.
Because she hates you.
And that concludes my argument. Nagito's plan was to make the traitor kill him. What are you gonna do? Are you guys gonna believe me?
He really on his luck to aim for the target, but he doesn't even know who he was aiming for. It's our way too, but it's very clearly Ashley, but...
The only thing we can do is believe.
If we don't, then we'd just be relying on our luck when we cast our votes.
But even if we do believe, what should we do? I mean, if we don't know who the target is, there's no way we can even vote.
You are absolutely right. It is hard to think the traitor would reveal themselves now.
If, by chance, the traitor revealed themselves during that bomb scare, what would have happened? Would it have stopped Nagito from acting so reckless?
Huh?
But they couldn't help it. Even if they wanted to reveal themselves, they couldn't do it. Because they weren't created to do that.
Chiaki?
What's wrong, Chiaki? Get a hold of yourself!
That's why I want you guys to guess.
You want us to guess?
Yeah, I want you to guess.
What? What does that mean?
Who do you think it is, Hajime? Who do you think the future Foundation sent to infiltrate your group as the traitor?
Why?
A traitor who's not allowed to think that they're different from everyone else.
Why?
A traitor who can only interact with everyone as a traitor.
Why?
Because that's the nature of their existence. They can only exist as a traitor.
Seriously, why?
Who do you think is the traitor? Hajime, please.
I don't want to pick! Dang it, I got a feeling... No, my feeling might be shit-face. Did you do it? Was it Miss Sonia? Girlfriend? Was it you? Oh!
It's... you?
I don't want to continue anymore, this is sad. Alright guys, that's for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. Oh, well, now stop the button for enjoy this video. If you're new to this channel, subscribe today for more content like right here. Also, if you have any questions, leave comments below. Of course, you enjoy. I have of course seen the next one.